Hello students, welcome to Kenny's Educare, a group of Kenny Solutions. Today we will be starting with lesson number 2, which is motions of the earth. Now what do you mean by motions of the earth? Motion means how the movement of the earth is taking place. Okay, so in this lesson you will come to know various important things about the earth and you will come to know how those things occur. You will get to know the exact scientific reason behind every motion, every movement of the earth. Okay, so let's start. Now see, you can try this. Take a spin. We have used it, right? We used to play with the spin. So just take a top and spin it and then observe its movement. Okay, now what can you see and what can you conclude out of this when you spin this top? See, the top will turn around itself, right? The top starts turning and starts rotating around itself, right? And any object that turns about itself, actually it turns around a certain imaginary line. What does this sentence mean is, see, you are telling that the object is moving or turning around itself, but there are certain imaginary means. It is not present actually, but you have to imagine. So this is the certain imaginary lines which are present around the top, and in those lines this top is rotating or is moving around itself. Okay, the turning of an object around itself, to that we call it as rotation. Okay, so any object, if it turns around itself, then it is called as rotation, and the imaginary line which is there around it, which it rotates, that line, that imaginary line is called as axis of rotation. Okay, so you should know what is rotation and what is the axis of rotation. These are the basic terms which you are going to use in the later slides. Okay, now see how the earth's rotation take place. You have seen this type of globe, right? And if you have it at your home, you can do this activity. Just take a globe and like this and just spin it. Now after spinning, it will just move like the top moves around its own axis, right? So it will rotate. Now see, note the lines around which it rotates. You need to know on which line it is rotating, and then you can take a plumb line and hold it close to the globe as shown in the picture. If you can see here, this is how you should hold it. This is the plumb line. Okay, see, this is the plumb line and you should hold it like this. If you cannot get a plumb line, then tie a long thread to an eraser and make one. Just keep one eraser here in the center of the globe, means in the middle of the globe, and just tie one thread to it. Okay, now you will see that the plumb line and the earth axis, means the imaginary line at which the earth is rotating, the globe is rotating, they will be at an angle to each other. Okay, and that is what we call as earth's axis is inclined. Okay, you will see certain angle. Now if you can see, this is the equator which is there at the center, this is the north pole, this is the south pole. Okay, and this is the southern hemisphere, this is the plumb line which you can use your eraser also. Okay, so when you will see that the earth axis and the plumb line, means this and the axis of the earth, this line, if you see between north pole and south pole, there is one line which is called as axis. So this axis and this, when they are at an angle to each other, that axis we call it as inclined. Now see here, see, this is the north pole south pole wala line, right? And this is the thread which you have tied up, and here you have kept the eraser, right? So this is called as inclined axis of the earth. Okay, so always remember, when I say it is an inclined axis, this is the angle which occurs. Okay, now see, the earth rotates with its axis which is inclined like this, like I showed you. The line north and south pole in the picture, it shows that the earth's axis, see, if you can see here, this is the north and south pole wala line, and this is the plumb line which you have kept. So this angle you will call it as inclined axis. Okay, and it passes through the center of the earth, right? This is at the center equator of the earth. The position north and south, they are called as poles of the earth. Okay, so here if it is written N, you will read it as north pole. If it is written as S, you will read it as south pole. If it is written as E, you will read it as east, and W is west. Okay, this is how you will read it. Now see, N is the north pole of the earth and S is the south pole of the earth. Okay, don't get confused what is N and what is S. N is the north pole and S is the south pole. Now if a circle were drawn around the surface of the earth exactly in between the north pole and south pole, it will divide the earth into two equal parts. Now what does this sentence mean is, if you see, suppose this is the circle of the earth, okay, and if you draw a circle around the surface of the earth, this is the surface of the earth, now you draw a circle around the surface. You can draw the circle here also or backside of it. Okay, then what you will get? Wait, first see, this is the surface of the earth, this is the north pole and south pole, right? So this is the between of north pole and south pole. So if you just draw a circle, this will divide the earth into two equal parts. Okay, so you will get two division, and this imaginary circle we call as equator. See, you can see it is in the center of the globe, so that point is called the equator of the earth. And if you draw a circle, imaginary line over here, you will get two equal parts of the earth. Okay, and the two equal parts it makes of the earth, those are called as northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere respectively. Okay, so when you draw a circle at the equator, you will get two equal parts of the earth, and that two equal parts, one will be the north hemisphere and the another will be the south hemisphere. Okay, now try this. Take a candle in the middle of the large table. This is the table. Okay, take a candle and place it in the center, means in the middle of the table. Now draw a big circle around the candle like as it is shown in this picture. Okay, now place a globe at any point on this circle. You need to place a globe. See how it is placed here. Okay, now light the candle. It means you have to burn the candle. Now see that it is dark in the room. You should off the light, and only this candle you should light up and place the globe. Okay, now suppose that the candle is the sun. Now this is the sun and this is the earth, right? Earth revolves around the sun, right? So ये sun है and the earth is revolving around the sun. So observe which part of the globe gets the sunlight and which one does not. Which part will get the sunlight and which will not get? The part which will be in front of the candle will get the sunlight, and the back side of the earth will not get the sunlight, right? So see, this is the setting of the model, and the lit part of the globe shows the day. So this is how when there is day somewhere, there is night, right? Suppose you are in a country where there is day and your friend is in another country and there is night. Why that is so? Because of this rotation only. Okay, now through this activity you might be clear why this happens, why there is day somewhere and why there is night somewhere. This is because of this rotation. Okay, Now see how the sunset and sunrise takes place. You can try this. Just take a red bindi which your mother uses, right? So you can take that red bindi on the globe, stick that red bindi on the globe like it is sticked here. Can you see it? Right? Now you can set up the previous model of the globe and the candle. You have to do the exactly this thing. Okay, just off the light, put on the candle and just place the globe. Okay, and here one thing you need to add is the red bindi on the globe. Okay, this is how you have to place it. Now turn the globe anti-clockwise. Okay, you have to turn it anti-clockwise and note when it is sunrise, noon and sunset. It means morning, afternoon and sunset at the location of the bindi. Okay, now because you have kept the bindi on the globe, you can easily determine when it is sunrise, when it is sunset and when it is noon, right? See, after one sunrise, note when the next one occurs at the bindi. Okay, after one sunlight, just check when the next sunlight will occur with the help of the bindi which you have located on the globe. Okay, and you will see that this happens when the earth completes one rotation. It means when you will rotate it, when it will complete its one rotation, that time another sunrise will occur. That is, when it makes one complete turn around itself, that time another sunrise will happen and a new day begins. Okay, and this period of time that the earth takes to complete one rotation is called a day. Okay, so how much time does the earth takes to complete one rotation around itself? It takes 24 hours to complete one revolution around itself, which is called a day, right? So a day has two parts, daytime and night time, right? Or simply day and night. In a day we have morning and the whole day, we call it as day, and night time it's the night time, right? When we sleep. And for the purpose of measuring the time, we divide the whole day into 24 parts, right? And each of which we call it as an hour. There are 24 hours in a day, right? Now see how a year, you will be studying about year. Year means 12 months, right? When 12 months are completed, we call it as 1 year. So now move the globe along the circle on the table. Okay, now you have to move the globe along the circle. This is the circle, right? So you have to move the globe here. Now as you do this, keep rotating the globe and ensure that the axis does not change its orientation. The axis should be inclined. Okay, so that axis ka position should not change. You only have to rotate the globe. Okay, and eventually what will happen, the globe will come back to its original place on the circle. It means you have started from here. So after rotating the globe will come after 12 months, the globe will come to its original position, and that is what we call as year. Okay, this is how the earth will revolve around the sun, and even as it rotates around itself, the earth will rotate around itself and it will revolve around the sun. Okay, remember, earth will rotate around itself but it will revolve around the sun. Okay, and the period of the time the earth takes to complete one revolution around the sun. Now when it completes, see, when you will call it as a day, when the period of the earth that the earth takes to complete one rotation, when it completes one rotation around itself, that time it completes a day. When it completes one revolution around the sun, that time we call it as year. Okay, that time we call it as year, 1 year, when it completes one revolution around the sun. And when it rotates around itself, and when it completes one rotation, that time we call it as day. Okay, and there are about 365 days and 6 hours in a year. Okay, so this much time the earth takes to complete one revolution around the sun. Okay, 365 days and 6 hours. Okay, now you might be knowing leap year, where now we all are aware of that February month it has 28 days, right? But when it is a leap year, that time February month will have 29 days, and when it has 29 days we call it as leap year. So in the Gregorian calendar, the year is taken to have 365 days, right? It means that it counts 6 hours less every year. Okay, so every year 6 hours becomes less, and that makes 24 hours or 1 day in every 4 years. So you might have seen after every 4 year there will be a leap year. Why? Because in every year it makes it count 6 hours less. Okay, so 6 into 4, how much will happen? 24. 6 4s are 24, right? So it will make 1 day, and that is the reason after every 4 years there will be one extra day in the month of February. Okay, and to make up for this lost 1 day, the month of the February in the Gregorian calendar has an extra day every 4th year. So after every 4 year there will be one extra day which will cover the 6 hours of this 4 years respectively. Okay, and that year is called as leap year. It has 366 days instead of 365 days, and February has 29 instead of 28 days. When it will have 366 days, it means the number of days in February month will increase to 29. Okay, now do you know that the length of day and night is not always equal? You might have noticed na, you sleep and then again it's morning, but the day becomes so lengthy. You feel like the day is so lengthy, but while I sleep I wake up after 2-3 hours only. I feel like that, right? You might have observed and it might have happened with you. So it is because the day and night is not always equal. And why does this happen? This happens because the earth's inclined axis, which we saw in the first slide, and its revolution around the sun. This is the reason. Okay, in the northern hemisphere between 22nd March and 23rd September, see, between March and September the days will be longer and the nights will be shorter. Okay, therefore it is warmer there. Okay, so from March to September the days will be long and the nights will be short. That is, it is the summer in the northern hemisphere. So during summer season this happens. Okay, however, during the same period in the southern hemisphere, now it was in the northern hemisphere, but now we are talking about southern hemisphere, जहाँ पे ये months में March to September the nights will be longer than the days. Okay, so the earth gets less heat in these parts and therefore it is winter in the southern hemisphere, right? So in the southern hemisphere it will be winter, and in the northern hemisphere there will be summer. Okay, and in the summer season the days are shorter. Okay, and in winter season the days are in summer season the days are longer, and in winter season the nights are longer. ठीक है, the earth gets less heat in this part and therefore it is winter in the southern hemisphere. Okay, in winter we feel cold, right? Why? Because the earth will not get that amount of heat which it produces in the summer season. Okay, so in the period from 23rd September to 22nd March the days will be longer than nights in the southern hemisphere. So this is the difference that is seen in the southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere between March to September. Okay, now see, it gets more heat and it is summer there. When it will get more heat? When the earth will get more heat, that time we will suffer and we will see कि there will be summer season. Okay, and in this period in the northern hemisphere, it is the nights that are longer. Okay, nights will be longer in summer season. In which hemisphere? In the northern hemisphere. The northern hemisphere will get less heat and it is winter then. Why you will feel cold? Because the earth is not having enough amount of heat, and that is the reason you will feel cold, right? So here that is only given that ki northern hemisphere they will get less heat and you will feel cold and there will be winter there. Okay, now note there may be differences in these dates due to the leap year. If it is a leap year, that is after every 4 year we saw leap year will come, right? Because in 1 year 6 hours are extra, so in 4 year it will cover 24 hours, and in the 4th year you will get one extra day, right? So when it will be leap year, there will be difference between there might be some differences in the summer and the winter season. Okay, now in India, summer, the rainy season and the winter, they are considered to be the main season, right? We always, when it is summer we wait for rainy season, when it is raining we wait for winter season. This is how the cycle goes in India, right? And we also divide the year into 6 seasons, right? Namely Vasant, Grisham, Varsha, Sharad, Hemant and Shashir. So you should know which are the 6 seasons. Okay, it can be asked for 1 marks and you need to know that it is Vasant, Grisham, Varsha, Sharad, Hemant and Shashir. Okay, so this cycle of 6 season, it is called as Ritu Chakra, because यहाँ पे ऋतु मतलब क्या होता है? Season. So the seasons are changing and that is why it is called as Ritu Chakra. Okay, and many of our festivals, they are connected with this season, and many of our songs and games, they are also related to different season, right? When we play Holi, that time we have different songs. When we play Diwali, that time we have different songs. And in various season we also change games also, right? If it is summer season, we have our vacation, we go to play cricket, we play badminton. But if it is winter, what we play? We'll play some small things, right? Now see, next is the phases of moon. Now you might have seen that the shape of the moon changes continuously. One day you will see it will be full moon, other day you will be seeing half moon is magic has happened and the half moon you don't know where it has gone, right? Then next day if you will see it will be only this much, then if you'll see it will be this much, then this much, and some day will happen when you will see there will be no moon day, right? So see, why these are called the phases of moon, which you see and you think that it's a magic, right? So see, why does this happen? And what is the name which is given to changing shape of the moon that we see? What do we call it as? See, one we call it as full moon day, okay, then no moon day, and in Hindi we call them with another name. You will come to know when I'll teach you later. Okay, see, what are the names of the days on which we see a round moon and on which we see no moon at all? You will also come to know this. Okay, now see, the full moon and the new moon. You might have heard about new moon and the full moon. When the moon is bright white in color and it is full, okay, that time the moon revolves around the earth and the earth will revolve around the sun. Now this is an important statement. Okay, moon, it revolves around the earth. I'll write it. Moon will revolve around the earth and the earth will revolve around the sun. You should know this. Okay, however, these two orbits intersect. Intersect means, suppose this is one line and this is the another line. Now this is the point of intersection, means they meet at one place. That is we call as intersect. Okay, hence the sun, the moon, and the earth are not always along a straight line. They will not always be in a straight line. Okay, we see half of the moon's surface which faces the earth, that is, from the earth we see only one side of the moon. Okay, when you see from the earth, you will see only one side of the moon. You can't see both the sides of the moon. Okay, and the moon has no light of its own, but then too it shines so bright, right? But it doesn't have its light. And we can see the moon because of the sun's light that falls on it. As I told you, the moon will revolve around the earth and the earth will revolve around the sun. So it will be the sun's light that falls on it, and that is the reason the moon appears so bright, so white, so shiny. Okay, and on full moon night we see the entire side of the moon that faces the earth. Okay, if you want to see the entire side of the moon, you have to observe it on full moon day. You can google it when it is the next full moon day, and you can observe on that day. You will see a bright white full moon. Okay, and on new moon night we cannot see any of it. When it's full moon, you will see the moon. When it's new moon, you will not see anything. Okay, so you can just google it and you can check it once. Okay, this is an activity which you should do. See, from the full moon to new moon, the illuminated part of the moon which is seen from the earth, like as I told you, when it's we can see the moon because of the sun's light, right? And full moon ke then we can see the entire side of the moon. Otherwise we can only see one side of the moon, right? See, here I told you, we see half of the moon's surface which faces the earth, that is, from earth we can see only one side of the moon. Okay, so the illuminated part of the moon which is seen from the earth, it will become smaller and smaller, and that is the reason you say ki the shape of the moon is changing. Okay, so from new moon to full moon it again grow bigger and bigger. Okay, from full moon to new moon what will happen? The size will become smaller and smaller, and from new moon to full moon what will happen? The size will become bigger and bigger. So this is the reason why the size of the moon, size and shape of the moon changes, how it becomes smaller and how it becomes bigger. If it is changing from full moon to new moon, it will become smaller and smaller. Okay, and if it is changing from new moon to full moon, it will become bigger and bigger. So this different shapes of the moon that we see, these are called the phases of the moon. Okay, now the lunar month and the days which is called as Tithi. If you might have seen your mama and daddy watching Rashi, right? On news channel they see their Rashi. That time you can hear those pandits saying Tithis. So you know that it takes 14 to 15 days from new moon to full moon. New moon to full moon, what will happen? The moon will grow bigger and bigger. Okay, so it will take 14 to 15 days for this purpose, and this is the fortnight of the waxing moon. We can call it as waxing moon also. Okay, so after full moon the moon appears smaller and smaller, and after 14 to 15 days it is new moon again. Okay, so there is a time period of 14 to 15 days. If it is a new moon, it will take 14 to 15 days to become a full moon, and if it is a full moon, it will take 14 to 15 days to become a new moon. Okay, so the time period is 14 to 15 days, and this period is the fortnight of the waning moon. Okay, thus the period from one new moon to the next new moon is 28 to 30 days. It means it covers almost 1 month to become or to change from one new moon to the next new moon. ठीक है, and इसको हम क्या बोलते हैं? lunar month. Lunar month means one new moon to next new moon. When this is completed, it is called as lunar month, and every day of the lunar month we call it as Tithi. Okay, you should know that the day of the lunar month is called as Tithi, and this is the day when one new moon will get converted to the next new moon. Okay. Now see, these are the phases of the moon. This is how you can see in the sky, right? You can see, first you will see ki this is so much small, then you will see the size has increased, then dhire dhire what will happen, it will become a full moon, right? You might have seen this. So I'll give you one work. You have to observe the moon for at least 15 days, okay? Because it takes 14 to 15 days to become a new moon and full moon, right? So at least 14 to 15 days, always, every day you have to just have one look on the moon, okay? Now see, always remember that the rotation of the earth, it gives us rise to day and night. If the earth ka rotation will stop, what will happen? Day and night will not occur, okay? So the rotation of the earth is very important, and the revolution of the earth and the inclination of its axis, inclined axis, it gives rise to the cycles of season. If it is rainy season, summer season, how does it all occurs? It is because of the inclination of its axis, which we studied in the starting at the equator, right? See, the new moon day, after 15 days, it will become the full moon day. That is called as the waxing moon, and that period is called as Shukla Paksha. When the new moon changes to full moon, it is called as Shukla Paksha in Hindi, and English you will call it as waxing moon. Okay? And from new moon to full moon, that will also take 15 days, and this is called as the waning moon, and this is called as Krishna Paksha. Okay, and the fortnight of the waxing moon plus the fortnight of the waning moon, both the period of the moon is called as a lunar month, because it takes 28 to 30 days to complete one lunar month, right? So this is called as one lunar month. Okay, so remember this. This is what we studied in the last 2 slides. Okay, now see what we have learned in this lesson. You might have come to know the phases of the moon, how the revolution of the earth takes place, right? And you have performed 2-3 activities also in this lesson, and I want you to practically do those activities if possible. Okay, so see, you studied that the rotation of the earth, why day and night occurs, it is because of the rotation of the earth. If the earth will not rotate around its own axis or around the sun, then day and night will not occur. Okay, and the revolution around the of the earth around the sun and its inclined axis together, they causes the season. Why we come across rainy season, then winter season, summer season? It is because of the revolution of the earth around the sun. Okay, then the revolution of the moon around the earth, it gives rise to the phases of the moon. Okay, if the moon will not revolve around the earth, then the phases of the moon will not occur. Okay, so it is necessary for the moon to revolve around the earth. Okay, so the time period from one new moon to the next new moon, it is called as lunar month, and it takes about 28 to 30 days to observe one lunar month. Okay, then we saw that the fortnight ending of a full moon is that of the waxing moon, and the fortnight that ends on a new moon is that of the waning moon. You just remember this. Okay, then the day of the lunar month, these are called as tithis. Okay, remember this. It can be asked for 1 marks, or it can be asked in one sentence also, so you should know what it is. So I hope you are clear with the lesson. We will just go through the main topics what we have studied. So we started with rotation, then we studied about how the rotation of the earth take place, and we came to know that the earth will rotate around its axis at an angle to each other. That is, the earth will revolve in an inclined axis, right? Then we studied about North Pole and South Pole. Then we came to know how the sunset and sunrise occurs, right? We studied this we an activity by using the bindi of your mama, right? Then we studied about how a year is formed, how a leap year is formed, and we studied some of the GK questions which you should know. Then we studied about the different phases of the moon. Then we studied about the lunar month and the days which are called as tithis. Right? So this is what, and I hope so you got many of the questions which you might have in your head before. Why the shape of the moon changes, why there is sunrise and sunset every day, why how the lunar months, how the leap year occurs, why there is one extra day when it is a leap year, right? So you might be clear with some of the questions which you had in your mind. Okay, so we are done with this lesson, motions of the earth. I hope you have understood all the topics which are covered in the lesson. Okay, so thank you everyone.